Hey guys, back with another live execution breakdown. And today I'll be covering some shorts that I took yesterday in PM session. Again, kind of covering what conditions I'm looking at when I'm trading PM session because I do not trade PM session every day. I only trade in high probability scenarios. And then today we also took another trade. Didn't go as planned, and I'll just kind of show you guys what I was expecting and how I built my bias. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So initially yesterday, I was kind of looking at price and I wanted to get some of this sell side down here. But price wasn't very responsive to that. We traded down, we took some sell side, and then we just kind of went to buy side, and that's just not what I was expecting. And overall, I mean, if I could kind of look back at what I could have done differently, because I was trying to like take some shorts in here, like really low size. What I would have done is waited for some of this buy side to get taken out, and then see if I could position myself like up here to take shorts. However, that's just not how it went. Didn't go as planned, but I didn't let that stop me. I looked during PM session, kind of looked at what setup that we have. So our first setup, if we look at the 5 minute, we have this initial inversion and then this second inversion, and both of them are really good setups to get into. This initial one is solid because we have all of this low resistance liquidity, so it's likely we're just gonna run through it. And I believe this is my first entry. I'll show you guys the video. However, yeah, continuing off of that, we also have this other inversion. And what is built up right here? Well, we have a ton of freaking sell side. So again, this is literally the same setup I took the other day. It's a little less obvious because you don't have like the full manipulation and all that. I guess this is the first manipulation. Coming up here, we manipulate these highs. We're kind of delivering off of some of these PD areas. And we're in like a daily fair value gap when we're up here. So then right here we're getting our second leg. So that's what is so important with time. Time is what's going to tell you when to trade, because if you're trading during lunch, you're not going to get as good of a setup. You're not getting the same expansion, okay? So you really have to zone in and figure out, okay, this is the time where I'm going to have the highest probability trades. And just with my experience, I know that it's after PM, after lunch session, PM session starts, and we could actually see our continuation of what we're looking for. So my first targets were actually, well, obviously we have other targets, but my main target is going to be these previous daily lows down here. You have this London low, this Asia low. Those are both previous daily lows. And so I'm aiming for those. Just to give you some truth, they don't end up hitting. They hit the following day. So my bias was completely right. But because prop firms don't allow me to hold that trade overnight, then I had to cut it, honestly. But I still got a decent amount of profit going into that. So yeah, let's check this out. Looking at the video, we have around the 15 minute, and we have all of this sell side. Super obvious where price is going. This is exactly what you want to see on your setups. Like, it's so obvious where price is going at this point. Okay, so actually looking back, I didn't have the best entry. I entered on the 5 minute, except on the lower one. So there was a higher one. So I definitely could have done better in that sense. I didn't catch the trade at the highest point, but that's okay. You're not always going to catch the highest point of the trade. So price kind of trades lower. We stall out a little bit. I see continuation through there. And then I believe I cut the trade a little bit lower when it trades down here. And that's because, I mean, this was going on all day. We were just consolidating kind of at these lows, and I'll show you guys that. So we came down here, we took out this New York PM session, and we're just hanging out. So then I closed my trade like right around here. So it was still about 100 points. Nothing too crazy, but then our target actually gets hit overnight. And if I could, I would definitely hold that overnight, but I can't, unfortunately. So, what was the point of this? What was the whole point of my target? And let's see, price trade down through there. Okay, so we hit both of our targets right there. What is going out? What is going on that told me, okay, Christian, you need to aim for that target? Well, this week we had CPI. Monday, Tuesday were kind of just consolidation. Okay, we had some moves, but Monday consolidating, Tuesday consolidating. The real move is going to happen on red folder CPI. So that was our real move. And when price, if we're bullish on a weekly time frame, then you always want to see some kind of manipulation. And there was no manipulation. Look, we're just moving higher and higher and higher. So what price is going to do is it's going to manipulate later in the week. So we're going to manipulate and then we're going to be able to expand off of that. So I'm thinking right here, we're all the way up here, but I'm thinking, okay, we're going to take out these lows. I'm bullish long term. However, I need to see that manipulation first before I could find more bullish setups. So that's exactly what I did. So I shorted right there, a little win. And then let's get into the next day. So this was this morning. Okay. Okay, so let's just go back right here. Show you what setup I saw. So now that we had that manipulation, I'm looking at some of our bullish targets. We left a bunch of highs right here. Low resistance highs. And you have all these highs up here as well. More of a long-term sense. So on the 1 minute, right here, I actually end up entering. Okay, there's our fair value gap. So I go long in here, stop right at the low. I'm aiming for some of those targets, and I'm aiming past that. I'm aiming for about a 1 to 2. So there's our entry. And then we actually invert this fair value gap right here, this 15-minute. So I add extra size in here. However, price just came back to actually stop me out, break even, and that's okay. Price is it's very manipulative right here. We're just moving up and down, so I'm okay with protecting myself right there. And I'll show you guys real quick, just like what it looked like. So I'm getting in on that 1 minute. We're kind of hanging out. Now I'm already anticipating. I'm already looking at the 15-minute. Like, okay, like I'm entering a 1 minute fair value gap. However, once we get that 15-minute, that's just extra confirmation to my bias. So sure enough, we end up inverting that. We have all this low resistance highs. Tag, we start moving higher. I move to break even because at that point we should just run through it, and never does. So I do kind of look for more setups in there. However, once I saw this news hit, I don't even know what this was from, but when I saw this hit, that was my sign to get off of the charts. And I know a lot of people have issues with that. A lot of people are continuously just getting back into the charts, trying to always catch a trade, and the reality is that you're only going to hurt yourself more. So my mindset with that is kind of like right now you have to tame yourself on your setups, and then in the future, once you tame yourself, once you get those banger A+ setups, you're going to be able to put a ton of size on, a ton of size, because you're going to know, you're going to have so much conviction that you trust yourself, you trust your system, you're going to be able to put a lot of size. But right now is not the time to do that. Right now, you have to have a consistent risk measure. so that you're protecting yourself in the long term. And once you can control yourself, you're going to be able to control your size. And your size, you're going to be able to make as much money as you want, but you have to control yourself now. So, you guys have a good one.